Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Vicente Laufschmidt, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's webinar with Jovana Rikalo, all about studio portrait photography. We're really thrilled to get going. Please let me know here in the little chat box if you can hear me all right. We really want you to have the best experience possible today. We really have prepared I think, a fantastic webinar for all of you. We're going to be having some live tethering to have you see the live shoot of what Jovana is shooting, really live in one of her studios. And I think it's going to be a really incredible experience. Also an opportunity for all of you to engage personally and directly with Jovana, which is something that we always love to foment, to encourage in these types of webinars and these types of events, is to really bridge the gap between you and the photographers and the professionals that we have the honor to be working with. Before we get into the real meat of today's webinar, a couple of little things. The very first being that for all of you who are visiting today, who are attending the webinar, not just registered, but actually attending and are here with us today, you will be receiving a 10% discount code on the BenQ monitors, specifically the SW and the PD monitors, the SW series you're seeing right now on screen. For those of you who are not aware, the SW and PD series are the two product lines within BenQ, which are really catered as monitors to be made for artists, to be made for designers and for photographers. If you are someone who works with photography, you know how incredibly important it is to get the color accuracy correct. You might have had the experience before that you take a picture of something, you then go to your screen, to your laptop, wherever it may be. You try to see the color on screen, and suddenly the colors look a bit off. The red maybe is not exactly the red that you saw in real life that you were taking a picture of. And it could be you spend a whole bunch of time editing now on this one image. You then go to another monitor and you notice the colors are again not matching, or you print out the final image and the colors are just not exactly what you wanted them to be. With BenQ, you have the utmost assurance to have the most color accurate monitor possible. We have a technology called AccuColor technology, which really guarantees, along with a host of different features, to really give you the most color accurate display possible. As you've probably seen here in a lot of the videos, the products feature a whole bunch of aspects, a whole bunch of attributes that go way beyond just color accuracy. You have an anti-reflective screen, which is TUV certified to give you really a completely reflection-free experience. The Hotkey Puck is one of my personal favorites. It's a little controller that you can have in your hand to easily switch between the settings and color modes, along with a host of other different features. We also have the real pleasure that fantastic photographers like Jovana, who's with us today, of course, has also been using BenQ for about 4 or 5 years, and we're just really thrilled about that. So you'll see here on the right side, you can access the links at any time. If you would like to access the photographer monitors or the designer monitors, the discount code will be shared later on during the webinar and also in the follow-up email. On to the main event, on to Jovana herself. For those of you who are not aware of Jovana, she is a fine art photographer from Serbia, with at the moment, I believe, over 220,000 followers on Instagram. If you follow Jovana already, you will understand why. Jovana is really a passionate photographer, someone who really has created an incredible style, all with fine art, and has worked to date with dozens of models, quite literally. And she has also been working with a lot of different companies, Disney, particularly for their weddings, for the Disney Bridal Allure Weddings campaign that they have. And she's really someone who, having worked with her quite a bit now, I can tell you just the incredible amount of work ethic that Jovana has. She's constantly looking to improve herself, constantly looking for new clients, constantly looking for different projects and different workshops to be doing. She's really someone who's always being called, always being asked for her services. And so it's really an incredible opportunity we have tonight to really have her here teaching in person. So without further ado, I'd like to pass it on to Jovana.
Hello, Vicente. Good evening, guys. Thank you, Vicente, for such a nice welcome. I'm always so happy to do webinars with the BenQ. I really enjoy, and I love talking with you guys. And thank you for joining today's webinar. This one will be very exciting because today I want to do a studio photography session. So you will see everything live. I will now share the presentation with you. Let me go. Wait a second. Yes. Today, like I said, we will be doing a studio portrait photography. So you will see everything while I'm taking photos of the model. You will see everything live. And this is very exciting because this is something I was doing like the first time of this webinar. So today we will be talking about the content. The first, we will choosing the right scene. So what you have to pay attention when choosing the right scene. The next is decorating the set. So I will slowly, as you can see here, we have a prepared set, but I will go through every detail with you and what is important with every set. When it comes to the set, the lighting is very important and the model posing. And at the end of this webinar, we will be answering your questions. So make sure to ask the questions during this webinar, and because later on we will be answering your questions. And I'm very excited to see what questions you will ask. But before we start, I would like to ask you, what level are you at photography? I'm really love to see if you're a hobby photographer, if you're a professional one. So let's see. So professional, hobby, just starting, or haven't started yet. Okay, seeing. I really love when the percentage is changing slowly. Okay. Most of you said hobby. And the same percent, oh no. Yeah, just starting in professional. Okay, so you're a hobby photographer. It is a really good start just to see how everything looks like and how you have to prepare yourself before you actually start doing it professionally, and what editing software to use. Nice, thank you so much. Okay, now we will start with presentation. As I said, choosing the right scene. So scene is very important when it comes to photography. It is more than a half of a job. It is not like only bringing a model to the location and then placing the model where you don't know where to place and then take photos of, because in that case you won't have the finished story. Once you have the right scene and when you prepare yourself what elements to bring to the scene, you will have a finished story and a masterpiece. In that case, you have to practice a lot. You have to have control over the light, over decoration, over the elements. In that case, you will see how much and how the whole scene will look like for you. So place can already tell a lot. When you're thinking about the place where you want to take photos of, if it's outside or the inside, make sure to, when you come to the place, that place has emotion. So when you enter the place, you already know what type of the elements you can bring to that location and what emotion that place has. So like abandoned places, if you want some dark theme concept, then abandoned places, vintage rooms, dark corners, then everything. If you want to say something really dark, if you want something like more bright, then you will choose modern places, or you will take photos in the flowers outside. So make sure to think in advance, make sure to see the place before you start taking photos of, because seeing the place will tell a lot. Because sometimes you don't have approach to that location, sometimes you need a special permission to take photos of, and you never know what that place can offer. Because if you're seeing that photos online of that place and when you come to the location, it doesn't look the same. So trust me, I had that problem when I seen that place on Instagram and everything looks perfectly. When I arrived to the location, and everything wasn't looking that nice. So make sure to think about the place. Light sources. So this is very important, especially if you're creating photos inside, because you have to have like a main sources like artificial lights and like second sources. If you use candles, lanterns, you will see later on, I will explain how everything looks, but you have a different position when it comes to the lights. And if you master the natural light, to me, my advice would be that to take photos of natural light at the beginning, because when you master the natural light, you will have more control over the artificial light, and you will know when the light is going what a result you will achieve at the end. If you don't know to work with a natural light, then it will be a problem, because this is a totally different field, totally new rules for artificial light. And lately, I really enjoy creating photos inside. I would never tell that I will say this before, because I was really into natural light. I said I would never take photos inside. But 1 year ago, I started creating photos inside, and it is so special because you can control the light. On outside, you don't have, like, you have only 30 minutes at sunset, and after that you don't have photos, you wait another day. But if you're creating photos inside, then you can create so many things, and you have control over the light over and over, and you can create so many things. So make sure to think about the light sources. You have a windows, so depending where the light will go. I'm not a big fan of the front view light, because in that it is okay for portrait photography when you know the face is important, and when you want the face to be visible. But if you want to tell a totally different story when the whole body is visible and hold the setup, then I love to have the side light position like today, and I will tell more about it later. Concept in a story. Make sure when you have time, just connect the whole scene with a concept. So it is not only, like I said, it is not only bringing a model to the location that, yeah, we will take photos. No, it is a totally preparation, organization, and thinking about each detail. Because when you think about each detail, then you will have the final story finished, like I said. So concept is really important. And model selection, please be very picky when it comes to models, because model is the main subject of the story and the whole scene. So if you don't choose the right model, then the whole scene will be a little bit distracting. So make sure to not think like this. I have a friend, and he's really good. She knows how to pose, and then I will bring her to the location. It is okay if the model is fitting the concept, if the model is okay for the scene. But if it's not, if you only want to take photos of that girl, not thinking about is she okay with the concept, then don't do it. It is okay just to take your time to find a perfect model, a photogenic one for this setup, or to not like only grab the camera and go to the location. Before moving to the next slide, I want to ask you, do you usually decorate your set? Like, did you try before? Because I would love to know how, do you usually decorate your set by yourself, or it's a team, like a team, or a friend, or somebody else who will help you, or you're only like this, I will decorate all by myself and nobody will help me, like we all do at the beginning. Okay, I'm interesting to know, by myself, with a team, nice. Let's see. Usually by myself. I know, at the beginning, it is totally normal just to see everything doing by yourself, but when you're starting doing with a team, and it's a game saver, so it's totally life-changing. Okay, so most of you said by myself. It is okay if you're a hobby photographer, but if you are thinking to become a professional, then I think it is okay to hire somebody. Like, if you can afford it, then maybe you can do like promoting that team, just to decorate the whole set, because you will see they have eye for the details. They have you will say a concept and the whole story, and they will finish it like with decoration. Like you will do it for photography, they will do with the decoration. So it's a really good thing. Okay, thank you so much for this. Next, here, decorating the set. So the set isn't only the room full of details, it is a model, it is a clothes she's wearing, it is the lighting. So like I shared here in these photos, the set means you have the right colors. So colors are very important when you're thinking about the place where you want to create the setup. So if you have a room or a studio, or if you want to shoot in a cafe, make sure to think, do you want to create photos on a dark backdrop or a light backdrop? You can use like paper backdrops, or you can use a wall of the cafe, of the room, whatever you want, but make sure to think about the colors. If you prepare to use like dark backdrops such as black, gray, make sure to use light clothes or bright elements such as the flowers, like on the first photo. In that case, you will achieve a pop-out effect, and you will have like more light into the photos, and people will immediately see the model and not the backdrop. Because if you use like the dark model and dark clothes, then everything will be settled like one, and you want that to have a contrast in the photos. Then the next one is the shadows. So the whole set is all about the lighting position and the shadows. So we have like the front light, the side light, and the back light. The back light is my favorite, like on the second photo, because in that case you will create a nice silhouette of the model, and you can tell so many things by creating a silhouette like this. You can pop out the flowers in the back, you can use a smoke effect, you can use a dry ice, and so many things with the backlight. And shadows are I don't know, it is my favorite thing to do, because in that case you can like play with the lights, and everything is giving much more atmosphere, and everything is much more storytelling than if you're using only front view camera. Then the indoor elements, make sure when you're thinking about the set and how you want to decorate the set, because if you don't have any idea, make sure to think what you have in your room. If you have a furniture, if you have a chair, make sure to think what unusual elements you can bring to usual decoration. You have usual decorations such as furniture, chair, candle, but what are the unusual elements, such as something from the nature, maybe leaves, maybe flowers, maybe, I don't know, maybe you can find something more from the nature which you can bring inside, maybe some animal. If you live somebody where you can select so many animals. And when you bring these elements into the room, like the leaves on the third photo, then everything you see, they will pay attention to these details, and they will see something is different than if they're only standing on the bed and without the leaves, without the candles. Everything will look nice, but with these nice small details, you will see the difference. And vintage clothes. Set isn't about the scene, the lighting, it's so much about the clothes the model is wearing. If she's wearing a jeans and a white t-shirt, then it won't be that story. If you prepare the whole set with the candles, with the nice materials, with the leaves, and then she's standing, sorry, in the jeans, then you see something wasn't working. You have to think about the clothes she's wearing. If you are, make sure to think about how to connect the concept and the clothes. If you want something more melancholic, romantic, vintage, then the vintage clothes, such as nice, easy materials, corsets. If you want to make a fantasy, dreamy look, then a bigger dress. If you want a fashion look, then more like some special trousers and blazers and something like that. And I think clothes are very important, like the model, and how she can represent their clothes for she's wearing. Okay. I want to ask you one more question before we start. Do you prefer natural light or artificial light? I know many of you will say natural light probably, but let's see. I knew it. Okay. Don't change now the percentage because I told you. Let's see. Okay. As I said, most of you said natural light. It's okay. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, natural light is amazing. Even now, I really love natural light the most. But when you try the artificial light and when you choose the right artificial light, then everything is much more like on the set. Okay, so now I want to tether the camera, and I will need a few minutes just to do that. So I will now switch off and get back to you very soon. I hope you can see now. Okay, so I place her where she's standing and where she's playing with the camera, with the dress. Okay, go left, right. Yes, move. Yes. I really love this dress because it goes with the scene. Okay, can you now stand like with the hands and just like the side view from down? Yes, like that. Perfect. And make sure to think about the body language and the face, facial expression. It is so important to know where she wants to look. Okay, now maybe again to use the lantern. And maybe to put somewhere like you're holding, hugging, yes, something like that. And maybe you can go into the, yeah, like something like that. And look over there. Yes. There is always some story in the photos. Okay. Right, so we'll go closer. Can you look at the camera now? Yes. Maybe again you can take like this, and maybe you are like you are going somewhere, like to me, maybe one step, and maybe stand on the toes. Yes. Now, yes. Oh, nice. I really love the face. Nice. Maybe other hand, maybe hold the dress with other hand like this. I'm not paying attention like if it's too dark, if it's not perfect, because later on I can edit in camera raw filter. Maybe you can do this hand. I can see you like yeah, on the side. Yes, with a little lantern, a little bit like yes, something like that. Mm-hmm. Wow, I really love the shadows behind. And how everything looks like. One more. And make sure to take as many photos because you never know what selection will look like. Yeah, yes, nice. Can you close your eyes? And think about something nice. Yes. Maybe with other hand you can hold it down. Yes, and maybe close your eyes. So as I said, this is the side view of the lightning because I really wanted the shadows. Can you look at the camera? Maybe you can stand on the side and maybe just lean. Like you can hug the lantern. Yes, something like that. And maybe you can look at the window here. Yes. And I always love to do from down perspective because in that case everything looks much larger than usual, as you can see here. Okay. And we have more space. Maybe now you can lean again head on the lantern. Yes. Photos of details. Like, I will draw like this because I really love it. Sometimes I really enjoy creating like details, closing up. This. Now I will put the lantern down again. Watch out. And now I wanted you to lean, something like this. From this side, and looking at the camera. Make sure to make like the legs from the side or to see your legs. Make sure if you have short dress, yes, it would be less visible because it looks weird. Nice. Maybe you can something like, and maybe look there. Yes. Wow, love it. Maybe a little bit down, look. And when you're creating photos, make sure to always include like a little bit of left side, right side, because in that case we have a full composition. Wow, can you look at the camera? And maybe again, like open your mouth a little bit more and then looking up, like you're seeing somebody who wasn't expected, like surprisingly. Yes. Like you want to run away, but yes. Mm-hmm. Nice. Can you? I would love to make now. You will stay like that. I will give you this watch. I want some elements for her to. Maybe you can hold more parts somehow. Yes, like she's holding the time. Yes. Can you look down? Like you want to touch the dress and the leaves, yes. Oh my god, I really love this. Oh. Look a little bit more up. Yes. Wow. I will go up. If you have so many elements down, like on the floor, it is okay to take photos from up. Maybe now, yes, you can hold the dress and look up, but maybe watch clock somewhere here, but on the dress. And to hold with one hand, maybe something good. Yes. Now I want her to again to put there watch, but now I want her to hold the candle, but stay there. Maybe, but be very careful, please. Yes, like that. I will now make more light. A little bit down, something like this, maybe more yellow tones, something like this, and then, wow, look here, so when you use candles, every light source is in the candle, so it is okay to have only one light source, because candles are very strong. Make sure to a little bit lean on the candle, going close, but look somewhere towards, yes, there. I will make ISO down, because I really want just to see the candles and on her face, something like this. Up you. When you're creating, when she's looking up, you have light source in her eyes, and I really love when this happens. Okay, can you now maybe put somewhere here, but be careful, yes, and maybe look up in the camera. A little bit down, you. And I love to take photos at 2.0 f-stop, because in that case everything is more blurry at the behind and only the model is in the focus. Yeah, make sure to maybe with one hand something like this. Yes, like you want to touch the flame. Yes, maybe this one is better. Yes, like that. And maybe the look. Wow, it's so good. I cannot wait to edit this photo. Make sure to ask the questions. Look up. Maybe now the legs are a little bit different. Maybe something like this. I will quote the candle for you. Maybe on the side there, on the side. Yeah, something like that. And maybe I can hold the candles. And I will make the dress. Be very careful when you work with candles. Yes. I want to see, wow. One leg. Yes, maybe more to see the legs. Yeah, yes. Uh-huh. Nice. You see, when you create photos with candles, it is so, they are so good. They look so nice in the photos. Everything is much more atmospheric. Look up. Like you want to touch something in the sky. Yes. Like that. Now you can again like hold the candles and maybe look there to the window. Let's see. Okay. Look again. Okay, now I want to place where I will help you now with the candle. You can stand up. And now I will turn on the second light. I will switch this off and turn. I will make it here. And I want to create the backdrop, the backlight now. Let's see. Can you maybe stand somewhere here? Yeah. Make sure the model be against the. Now I will switch to different lens because I want to achieve like more bokeh effect. I will use 105 millimeters lens, bigger one, because with the lens with a bigger glass, you will achieve better results when you're using the backlight. Nice. Yes. Let me see the test. More. Yes, like this. Maybe you can like put the on the chin, yes, hands and look up. You see, we can create something like this too, but I prefer more on the side, light, where you have more light transfer here. Yeah, something like this. Maybe stand a little bit more. Yes, almost here. Yes, nice. And yes, look up. Look at the camera. And to me, because I'm creating portraits, to me it's very important to have a really nice, to be face visible in the photos. Nice. I want to switch to more front view now with the light. Have more on this side. Just like this. Maybe I will. Oh, nice. Yes, you can hold like that here, and maybe the look a little bit up where you're looking. You see, when we are creating portraits, it is okay to have the front light. Wow, can you look down a little bit? Maybe something with underhand, maybe, yes, above, Nice. Love it. Make sure to something with the hands, yeah, around the body. Yes, something like this. Maybe other hand a little bit more up. Yes, something like this. And more into the light source because of the shadows. Yes. I'm not so much into this pose. Maybe you can stand. Yes, something like that. Nice. Look at the camera. I want to get a really close to her, like this. Wow. Look somewhere up. Maybe like something with two hands. Yes, look down like that. Close your eyes. Maybe you can stand around the leaves or near the leaves. Yes. Maybe. If we want more, yes, maybe because of the shadows. Yes. It's okay like that. Yeah. Maybe touch the leaves with both hands. Yes. And maybe with your head. Yes, like that. Look at the leaves. Now I wanted more something that is happening in the photo, so that's why I told her to stand near the leaves. Make sure to look up a little bit. Yes. Can you look at the camera and maybe hide behind the leaves somehow? Maybe put the head. Yeah, something like that. But now you have shadows. Maybe stand in front, actually. Yeah, in front of the leaves. And maybe with one hand on the face. Something like this. Yes. To only have leaves around you. Yes, you can close your eyes. I really love those, but first one was my favorite with the whole scene. Can you look at it? Make sure to take as many photos the same, because you never know if she will blink, if she will smile, if you will have the blurry images. So make sure there is not enough images. There is only your selection of images. Can you look at the camera? I'm really satisfied with the results. I think we created so many photos, so now I will again untether the camera and get back to you. Tell more about the equipment. So equipment is so important. So it is okay to create photos, it is okay, but the software and the monitor you're using are much more important, because in that case you will see the true colors. So first, to capture a good photo, you need a creative tools. So creative tools are the camera. So having a good camera is a great, but you can practice storytelling even with a smartphone camera or on a budget camera. I think when you're starting, it is okay to have a starter camera, but when you are changing into professional, make sure to buy a professional camera, because it is much more visible, the warmer tones, and everything is much more different and good. Then the lenses, I think the lenses are much more important than the camera. Prime lenses are a must. So when you're choosing the lenses, make sure to think what photos you are taking off. So do you create like wide angle shots or portrait shots? I think everybody has to have these two portraits in your photography bag, for wide angle shots or for the portrait shots. Then the additional equipment such as lighting, reflectors, and backdrops. Editing software such as Adobe, Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere Pro, and tablet for editing. Tablet is really a lifesaver because you can edit much more easier and much more quicker, and everything is like a soft touch at the end. And to me, the most important thing is photography monitor, because when I was starting with photography, when I was doing photography as a hobby, to me, I was using a regular photography monitor, and it's not like, when I switched to professional photography monitor, to me was a life changer, because I didn't know how I saw the things differently back then with a regular monitor. I didn't see anything, seriously. And I'm using the BenQ SW Photography Monitor. I want to say a few words about this monitor because I really enjoy using it. First of all, what I really like about this monitor is the size of this monitor. It is 27-inch 4K monitor. Before this one, I was using 32 inches SW321C, and it was a little bit bigger for my liking. It is a really, really good monitor, but everything is so big, and you have to switch to most of the time left and right, but with this side, it is almost perfect. Next one is the colors. Like I said at the beginning, with the regular monitor, to me, it was impossible to see what actually is happening with the photo. I was struggling when I was transferring the photos from a monitor to the mobile phone because every time the photos will look differently and the colors won't look the same. And with all the BenQ monitors, I really enjoy the true colors. Like you see everything like on the set and on the monitor, and it is a really lifesaver. And when you know what will happen at the end, you will have the best results from the series, from the set. Then you feel much better if you don't know what it will be at the end. The next one is the hockey puck. So I really love because it is without a cable. So it is a Wi-Fi, and you can switch it around the table. You can use it much easier, and you can use these switch tones very quickly. The next one is horizontal and vertical mode. I'm old school editor. Like, I don't use this option so much, but it is so nice touch to have it. You can switch easily from horizontal mode to vertical mode, and you can edit portraits very easily. And for every portrait photographer, this is a lifesaver. USB-C connectivity. It is so easy to have this because if you're using a laptop, you have only one cable, and it is a nice lifesaver. And what I also like, because I really love taking notes, I really love to, because we have so much space under the monitor, you can leave the notes and stickers, whatever you want. There's a really nice leather base, and I really enjoy this monitor. I still do. So if you're starting with photography, I think you have to think about what monitor you have to buy. I think this is a right one. So I have a special code for you. If you DM me, I can share this code with you where you have discount. And also here you have a discount for all PD and SW series, 10% discount by using this code. And I think all the BenQ monitors are really so amazing, and I really enjoy using them. And because of that, I would love to ask you, so what do you edit your photos with? I really want to see your question. I really love PC, laptop. I only use it when I have to, when I travel or holding workshops, but all the time, most of the time I use a PC. Okay, so professional monitor, regular monitor, laptop. Let's see, still answering. Laptop is good if you're like changing locations and you're not stick to the home, but I think having a good PC and good photography monitor is so important for every photographer, where you can see nice everything. You have a large screen, you have true colors, and everything is happening on the photo. Okay, so most of you said laptop, then regular monitor, and then professional. Oh my God, make sure that both of you switch to professional monitor because it is a really lifesaver. So at the end, I would like to say, play with the scene. So it is so important to explore the scene, to meet yourself, to meet what you want to achieve, to meet how much you can do with the scene and with the model and with the whole set. So make sure to play as much as you can, because never be scared, especially if you're alone with the model and with your friend. Just remove the elements, add the elements, because in that case, you will see how much you can add and how much you can remove. Use natural light sources. As I said, if you master the natural light, then you will be you'll be having more control over the artificial light sources. Create an atmosphere, not only creating a set, by thinking about how you can create an atmosphere, like the candles, like the lanterns, how many elements, like the materials. Don't put like the elements plain in the room. Think about what nice tool material you want to put maybe on the chair, what type of the dresses you want to achieve, and so on. And also enjoy. But before we move to asking your questions, I want to ask you one more question at the end, and that is, do you prefer like setup or editing more? I'm really curious to know what you will tell here. The last poll. So to get your design results in the scene and the setup more important to you, or the editing process afterwards? So you can type here what is more important. I would so happy to see your answers. I would love to see how do you expect it. So when I was starting with photography, to me it was more editing than the decorating the set, but now it is more decorating because I really enjoy creating the whole process and thinking about the scene and seeing the scene alive. And you can film my videos also because, okay, let's see, setup, the editing, scene as setup, editing. Editing is also nice if you explore and everything, experimenting with Photoshop and software you're using. Set up a scene. Okay. Nice. Okay, so most of you said set up a scene and then editing, decorating, both. Set up. Yeah, I really love that you love more scene. Both. Set is more for me. I live in the scene during process editing. Yes, like you said, decorating the set, seeing the set is like the whole process. It is whole experience. Not only with editing is also nice, but you experience this, and it is different. Set is more fun. I live in the scene. Okay, the scene is more important than the editing. It elevates the editing process. Right. It is so important. I love seeing your setup. Wow, nice. I really love that you enjoy more setup. Okay, thank you for answering. I really appreciate your answers. And now we will be answering your questions. So if you, Vicente.
Yes, thank you so much, Jovana. So just as Jovana said, we're not going to be going, the webinar is not done yet. We'll be going to the Q&A section now. We know that some of you might already be leaving because you don't always stick around for the Q&A. Regardless, we're thankful for everyone that came. Please let us know your thoughts here on the webinar, what you thought of your experience, what topics would interest you in the future. And the discount code, as we mentioned before, is going to be available via the email, going to be sent to you by email afterwards. And we're looking forward to welcoming you all at future events. So with that being said, let's get into the Q&A section. So we have a question from Christian, and he says, you talked a lot about the storytelling aspect of photography. What is the common theme of the stories you are trying to narrate? Is there a particular cause that you advocate for?
Yeah, to me, storytelling is everything, and everything what is happening to me, everything when I see daily, I want to that put into the photos. So like a moody scenes, like the sad moments, like this inspires me. So art is about, I cannot tell about the sadness, but with the sadness you create art. And to me it's so important to have like melancholic moment where emotional and everything. So the life I will tell.
Yeah, we have a question. We have a question also from Christian, who says, asking about hobbyists and professional photographers, what the difference is. And wanted to ask, so first of all, how do you see the difference between a hobby photographer and a professional photographer?
Well, with a hobby, I think hobby photography is more like experimenting before you start really. If you want to become a professional, that means you have to be a hobby photographer and you have to practice. But if you want to do it a full time and you want to only doing photography, that is also professional. And if you want to work with the brands, with more high fashion and brands, they will ask for more professional like photos and different tools and more different like creative tools with the camera and the lenses. So I think the different aspect of the view is important, becoming switching between the hobby and professional.
I'm getting some echo from your microphone, Jovana. Maybe a bit better for you to read the questions.
Okay. Let's see. Hi, can you share the photos because of the issue in the beginning? I will share, just make sure to email some of them. So sorry for this happen. Let's see. Do you pick photos manually or with some program? How do you choose the right one? Oh, this is a really nice question and hard question because if I, for example, made around 500 photos, I will make selection to 200 because I will, at the beginning, I will delete only the photos where I duplicate the same photos where she's blinked, where she closed her eyes, where I don't feel this is a good photo, where the photo composition is not in the center. I know in advance what composition I want to look like at the end, how many things I want to see on the left side, on the right side, and in the center. And I don't use any program. I transfer the photos to the PC and then one by one. I need around 1-2 hours just to select all the photos. And for the export, I use Lightroom if I want to export more photos in advance. Again. What kind of lights and accessories she's using. At the beginning, I was using reflectors, but now I use a Profoto B10X dual kit. Lighting, this one is so nice, and you have two of them, and you can use at the same time. You can switch to both sides, and I really love them so much. Production. How much time do you spend on post-production of one shot? It really depends if I want to manipulate this image. So if I want to add so many elements into the photo, remove some elements. So if I want to do this type of the editing, then I will need about 2-3 hours, sometimes 4, but usually around 20 to 30 minutes just to edit the photo. And sometimes for the portraits, I really need more time because if I have so many blemishes, I need more time. Usually, how many photos do you take in one scene? Yeah, this is so important because when you're coming to the set and you're thinking about the scene, don't create only photos with one scene. Make sure to have minimum 3 scenes because you must have diversity in your photos in the scenes. So usually about one scene, maybe 200 photos. I love to create as many photos because it's better to have photos which I will delete than to please for new photos. Can you tell us your camera settings? It really depends on the light, but usually f-stop is from 2 to 2.5, and shutter speed and ISO depends on the light. So, and if she's moving with the hair, and if you want to capture the movement, make sure to put shutter speed from 500 and up, because if you don't put it, if you put it lower, it will be much more not sharp image at the end. Do you make a mood board before a photo shoot? Always. Sometimes I scratch, but usually I write down ideas, and I always have ideas with a scene. So how many ideas I have in one scene, how many ideas I have in the second scene. So usually it is a whole process, and it takes maybe 1-2 hours just to write the whole ideas and how I want to achieve. And before that, I look for inspiration. Sometimes if I see something online and I want to get little difference, so I set up and see how I want to make the whole scene and the whole emotion into the photo. Let's see. I don't need special cable. Do you need special cable for tethering, and how tethering works? This was also new to me, and yes, you need one special cable, which it is one cable which you will connect from the camera to the laptop or PC, especially what input you will using. So if you're using USB-C or other, then you have to ask for a store. It is a tethering cable. And when you tether a camera, you open the software, you have Capture One, you have Lightroom, and usually you go into the file and start tethering, and then you only switch, wait a little bit to recognize the camera on the software, and then you can easily tether. It's really good, and I cannot wait to use it even more in future. What are settings on your camera that you use for this shooting? ISO was around 1000 because it was a little bit darker and I wanted grains in my photos because I really loved that moody effect. And for the f-stop was 2.0. And shutter speeds, I was changing from 300 to 500, depending if she's moving or no. Thank you so much for the amazing webinar. I would love to attend the webinar on editing. Thank you so much, and so sorry because of the beginning with the share screen. Let's see. If you were to publish a magazine, what you call it? I didn't understand this question. Can you repeat it? Like, what did you mean? What would you call it? Like a published photographer or? Do you use the warm or cold light behind the model? This I also said. Depending on the scene. Here we have a really warm scene, and that is why I use more warmer tones. But if I create photos on the snow or when I have so many white in the photo on the set, then I will use more colder tones. So it really depends on the set. Do you have a favorite prime lens? 35 millimeters, 1.4 for wide angle shots and 135 millimeters for portraits, 2.0. It's a really amazing lens. So beautiful because of the bokeh and dreamy effects. Can you provide information regarding the lighting equipment accessories you use during the session? Yes, as I said, I use Profoto Duo Kit B10X for this photo shoot and candles and lantern. I already said what settings on your camera did you use for these photos. Okay. If you can also send me a question if you have some additional ones. Where did you learn about arranging lights in the scene? I'm still it is still challenging to me. I still exploring the lights, but my favorite are from the side line and the back lights. So usually I watch the tutorials online, and also I was experimenting a lot in a studio. So I placed the model, and I needed around 2-3 hours just for one scene, just to see how much light I want into the photo and how everything will look like at the end. It was so exhausting, but at the end you will get the best results. Okay, the name for a magazine. What did you mean for the name for a magazine? Did you study photography in school, or did you start doing it your own through practice? On my own, so I'm self-taught photographer. I study law, so it's not in a good connection, but now the law is my hobby and photography is a full-time job, 10 years already, and time flies. But I really love photography, and I'm still learning. I think every photographer always have to learn during the whole process. There is no time that you learn something and then you just staying and doing nothing, because the time is changing, the trends are changing, and you have to always learn something, and you always to experiment with yourself. Let's see. Did you teach yourself everything, or do you have trained in this area? Well, I watch a lot of YouTube tutorials, online courses. I can say maybe half and a half, but most of the time I do it by myself. So lots of practice, lots of practicing with the model, communication, and everything. With the practice, you can do a lot of stuff. Let's see. How do you sell your photos? So I worked on two separate fields. First, I create photos, like my personal projects, where I sell photos online through the magazines, through the online stock agencies, or installations for theater and cinema. And the next field are when the clients booked me, and like the brands and individual people, and the workshops. So this is how most of the time I work and sell the photos, also as a prints and presets, limited edition prints. Okay, let's see if we have questions more. If no, I think that's it. Okay, let's see. Can you say something more about the prints? So it is totally like a new field. You have open edition prints, limited edition prints. Limited edition prints, you can sell a few like good agencies such as Saatchi Art, where you can sell certain amount, a number of the prints from 1 to 15 to 25, how many wants, in one resolution. When that resolution is gone, when everybody buy these prints, you cannot anymore sell these prints in this resolution, but the other resolution choose and the number of prints. And the open edition you can sell everywhere, and usually there is no limit how many prints you can sell, but there are so many different websites where you can sell prints. So if you want to know more about it, you can send me a message, because I have so many online websites where you can do it. And it is, the whole field is different. Like the workshops is one field, prints is another, working for brands is another field. So everything is not, you have to give all yourself to do it. Okay. Okay, I think that's it with the questions. Thank you so much for answering the questions.
Yeah, so if we've gotten to the end now, I wanted to say again, thank you very much to everyone for attending. It was really really a pleasure to have you all here. If you enjoyed today's webinar, then please be sure to follow us on Instagram and follow us on our social media. We're always hosting fantastic webinars just like this. Jovana, we're very pleased, very lucky that we can have her here with us. And we're really lucky that we get to work with a lot of incredible photographers and designers from all over the world. So as said before, you have the discount code here. This will also be sent to you via email. And we're really looking forward to having you at a future webinar. And also a very big thank you to Jovana. Most of you probably think that it's quite easy to get a hold of an event like this, but for someone as busy as Jovana, who's as active as she is, and really is always so incredibly busy with everything that she's doing, with the client work that she has, it's really an incredible opportunity to have her here with us today, and we're very thankful for the time and the dedication she brings to it every time. So a big thank you to Jovana, and thank you to everyone as well, and we're looking forward to having you at future events.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Vicente, and see you in the next webinar.
Great. Wishing everyone a great evening.
Okay, bye.